A society in which the lowest 80% of the population earns 75% of all income, and the lowest 40% of the population earns 30% of all income, has even less income inequality, and the resulting Lorenz curve will therefore give rise to an even smaller shaded area as it lies even closer to the 45-degree line. Full equality, where the richest person makes as much as the poorest person, would then imply a Lorenz curve that lies on the 45-degree line, with the bottom 80% of the population earning 80% of all income, and the bottom 40% of the population earning 40% of all income. A single numerical measure of income inequality is then derived from these Lorenz curves as what is known as the Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient takes the shaded area implied by the Lorenz curve and divides it by the entire area underneath the 45-degree line. The lowest value for the Gini coefficient would emerge from a Lorenz curve that lies on the 45-degree line, and thus gives rise to a Gini coefficient of 0. The highest value for the Gini coefficient arises from a Lorenz curve that's L-shaped, with the horizontal part lying on the horizontal axis and the vertical part lying at the population share 1. That would give the entire area below the 45-degree line as our shaded area, and since the Gini coefficient is the shaded area divided by the area below the 45-degree line, the Gini coefficient would then be 1. Thus, the Gini coefficient ranges from 0 for a society with complete income equality to 1 for a society in which a single individual gets all the income. In countries around the world, the Gini coefficient for the income distributions in various countries typically lies somewhere between 0.25 and 0.6. Some Scandinavian countries, like Sweden and Norway, for instance, are on the lower end of that range. The United States has a Gini coefficient of about 0.45. Finally, the Gini coefficient will differ depending on whether we measure income or wealth on the vertical axis. Since wealth is usually distributed more unequally than income, the Gini coefficient for wealth distributions tends to be higher, while the Gini coefficient for the income distribution in the United States is around 0.45. The Gini coefficient for the wealth distribution is closer to 0.85.